10 million downloads in a week. This is one of the fastest growing open source AI model till date, and most people don't even know about it. This is Gemma 4, and in this video we will break down what is Gemma 4 and why is everybody downloading it and how you can try it yourself. So let's dive straight into it. Let's start with the basics. First, let's understand what is Gemma 4. So Gemma 4 is a family of 4 open AI models built by Google DeepMind. What you can do is you can simply download them and run it in your own device. It could be a laptop, a phone, or even a Raspberry Pi. Gemma 4 is getting all this hype due to two factors. The first is it is being built from the same research as Gemini 3, which is Google's best model. And the second factor is the licensing. It is released under Apache 2.0, which is the same license as Kubernetes. What it means is you can use it for anything. It could be your personal project, commercial project. There are no restrictions at all. And in case you might be wondering, like, why does licensing matter? So it's because the previous Gemma models and even the model from Meta, which is the Llama models, all have had custom licensing with some limitations, but Gemma 4 is having no limitations at all. Now let's talk about the 4 models because each one is designed for a different use case. The first model is E2B. This is the smallest model. This has around 2.3 billion active parameters, out of which 5.1 billion are the total number of parameters. I'll explain how that works in a minute. The point to note here is this runs fast on a phone with zero internet. The second model is E4B. This is a bit bigger, and in this case, there are 4.5 billion parameters which are active, and in total, there are 8 billion parameters. This also runs on your phone. It handles text, images, and audio, all of them locally. The third model is 26B. This is the sweet spot for most of the people. It has in total around 25 billion parameters, out of which only 3.8 billion are active at a particular point of time. You can think of it like a company which is having, let's say, 128 specialists, but for each task, it will just pick best 9 to work on it. You get the knowledge of a 25 billion parameter model with a speed of 4 billion one, and this runs on a single high-end GPU. The last and the most powerful model is 31B. As you can see, this one ranks among top 5 in all the open source models on LM Arena leaderboard, and this uses around 30 billion parameters for each response. All the 4 models that we have seen support both text and images. The two smaller ones, E2B and E4B, they understand audio, making them great for voice applications on your mobile phone. The bigger ones, they skip audio. But now let's talk about the benchmarks because that is going to surprise you. So as you can see, this is a blog from Tech Insider, and let's take the AIME benchmark, which is a tough math competition benchmark. And for this one, for Gemma 4, the 31B parameter model, it stands at 89.2% as compared to Llama 4, which stands at 88.3%. And the thing that is very interesting to note here is the Gemma 431B parameter count is just a fraction of all its competitors. The Llama 4 that you see here that operates at 400 billion parameters. So these numbers are very surprising given the parameter count of Gemma 4. And the math one was done without any external tooling. You can see the results for coding, science, and other benchmarking as well. And clearly, in every means, the Gemma 431B has outperformed all the other models that exist. Okay. If you are a developer, I'm sure you might have heard Codeforces, which is one of the most competitive programming platform out there. And the Gemma 31B model has scored an LO of 2150, which puts it under master level, which means it's way ahead of many great human programmers that you know. And you know the best part? There's a benchmark called Big Bench Extra Hard, which is the toughest benchmark when it comes to reasoning. And when Gemma 4 was measured on it, you can see that Gemma 4 has a score of 0.744 for the 31B model, and the Gemma 3 is having a score of 0.193. That means the performance has been done 4x in just one generation when it comes to Gemma 4. With all these benchmark numbers, it's very clear that for such a model, which you can run on your own hardware, these numbers are really amazing. Having seen these benchmarks, now the next question that comes to the mind is how this small model is competing with models that are 12x its size. So there are three concepts that have made this model efficient. Let's talk about them one at a time. The first concept is pre-layer embedding. So normally when an AI is given an input, what it do is it read at the top and then process it all through its layers. But Gemma 4, what it does, it gives every layer its own copy of the input vocabulary. You can imagine a student who rereads the exam question before answering each part instead of just reading the question once. That's how the E to B model, which is having just 2 billion active parameters, can carry 5 billion in total. The extra parameters are all these pre-layer lookup tables. The second concept is hybrid attention. You can think of it like you're speed reading a book. So, what you do is you skim most of it, but when the important parts come, you slow it down. That's the same strategy that is being followed in the hybrid attention. The third concept is the proportional ROPE. So let's say you are reading a book and you are on page 500. Now we need to remember what happened on page 5. And most models, what they do is they lose track over long distances. Gemma 4 uses standard positioning encoding for local layers and a scaled version called proportional ROP for global layers. That's why it can work sharply in massive context windows. I'm sure you might be convinced that you have to use Gemma 4 on a local. Now you might be wondering how I can get started. So it's very simple. What you have to do is come to Olama and under models, you can see this Gemma 4. So here the different models are being listed. You can download whichever model you want. You just have to use this command called Olama run along with the model name. It's that simple. This brings us to the end of the video. Personally, I feel with Gemma 4, Google is setting a standard where all these models that are there in the open source space, if they are that good, then it will force other people to also do the same. And this is just good for the whole open source community in general. Make sure to try this out and let me know in the comments what you are building. And if you want more such videos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel.